What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Day 4 of the nonfiction narrative. Hopefully, this will be your last day of writing, probably. And tomorrow, you can use it as like another read over, fix any minor things that you have or major things. I don't know. Today, we're going to talk about when to use commas, when to make it a different sentence. We're going to be talking about subjects and predicates. It's all very good. I do have a bit of a glow. Oh yeah, that's better. I had like some kind of glow. There must have been something that got on the camera lens, but now it's better. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. It can be a really tricky thing, like when to put a comma, when to put a semicolon. We'll actually talk about semicolon, and then I will share my last little bit that I wrote. I really haven't proofread it yet, so maybe we'll find some mistakes along the way, and then we'll put this thing to bed. We'll give it a rest. Be done with writing for a couple weeks. Tomorrow, we are going to get into the second unit. It's just there's going to be a video that's going to talk about like these multiple intelligences and how when you go to school, we really only focus on 2 of the intelligences, the ones that focus on math and reading mostly. And there are a bunch of other intelligences that if you're really good at those, well, school might make you feel dumb all day, which is not the best, unfortunately. All right, so let's make this bigger right here. And I will share. So this is what mine looks like right now, the whole thing. Let's see, I'll make it a little smaller, but it's, maybe a little bit long. Not this, but maybe a little bit longer than yours will be. Of course, I do have a few more paragraphs because of the dialogue. And I did put a little bit more dialogue in today. But that's all. That's about what I wrote today. I felt like I had to talk about actually getting the license. And I'm going to talk about it being like anticlimactic. We talk about climax in English class, like the high moment. It's getting my license was basically like, oh, I didn't mess up. There wasn't anything like big to the test. It was just like I did everything right or reasonably okay. That's all you have to do. Just don't mess up and you pass. Easier said than done. So let me make this bigger and I will just kind of read what I wrote here. I started off my sentence here with, we call this a prepositional phrase. Driving into the DMV to finally take my test. The subject, we're going to talk about the subject in a minute, but my heart felt as if it would burst through my chest. So I don't know. It's not like the greatest sentence. I could probably fix that. Maybe I'll have it fixed by tomorrow. But driving into the DMV to finally take my test, my heart. So my heart is the one that's driving into the test. So I'll have to fix that a little bit, make that a little better, but it's all right. So I try to get in that sensory detail. My heart's bursting through its chest. My palms instantly broke into a sweat. Not good. All right, we've talked about this before, but one easy. I mean, it's so easy, like it should be illegal, but it's just that little sentence. There isn't a subject there. We're going to talk, that's not grammatically correct. There's nothing doing the action there, but that's okay. It's just, I did it for effect. And when you have a little sentence, sometimes that can really like stand out from the other sentences that are kind of medium length or longer. Remember, don't be too long, then it kind of gets into a run-on. But that little sentence, it can really attract the reader right there. Hope it works there. Bigger here. Okay, so I'm talking about my palms. My palms instantly broke into a sweat. Not good. I would kind of need those things not to be slippery if I wanted to get a grip on the steering wheel. The man who would be watching me waddled to the car and plopped down in the seat beside me. So I thought that was a really good verb to use, waddle, kind of like a guy, like probably ducks waddle, right? This guy's walking here. He's probably seen like 50 people that day drive. He has no interest. He's just like, all right, let's get it over with. And he plops down in the seat beside me. So your verbs, those can really make your writing pop. So that's what I do sometimes on my second like read through is I try to focus on the verbs. If I have a verb like walked, it's a little boring. Can I do something else? Waddled, strode, those kind of synonyms that can just make your writing. And I hope you like writing. I know a lot of people don't. I probably didn't like writing until I got into high school. I love writing, but I understand not everybody likes writing, but hopefully a couple of you do. I'm speaking to you now. Everybody else like, I don't care about writing. I'm sorry. It's just one thing we do. It is an important task to be able to write. People will take you more seriously. Last night, my internet was down. So I didn't want to call anybody, but I was on a chat and, I had to do a lot of writing there. And hopefully, I think if you sound a little bit smarter, they will take you a little more seriously. So if you write in complete sentences in the chat, they might, respect you a little bit more and be less likely to dismiss you. I don't know. Internet companies are pretty brutal. Yeah. Anyways, we got it fixed, but I did a lot of typing last night trying to get my internet fixed. Come on. They weren't the most helpful, but hopefully if I had like correct sentences or like this guy, and if you can speak with a little bit more vocabulary on the phone or customer service, like if you need your cell phone this summer, we had a terrible deal with cell phone service, but if you can, I'm not saying use like giant words, but if you can speak a little more eloquently, like I think they will take you a little bit more seriously. So speaking, writing, reading, I do think they're important. I know that we'll talk tomorrow about how school only really values math and reading and writing and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's important to a degree. Anyways, back to this. I'll stop talking. Okay, drive. He said another like very, short sentence there. And I did. It was pretty anticlimactic. The parallel parking went off without a hitch. Driving back into the parking lot, I had a good feeling. The man confirmed it. You passed. So first read through, it's not perfect. I could maybe tighten it up a little bit, pick some different words there. I don't know. Not bad. Not bad. So let's talk about when you should use a comma and when you shouldn't. I mean, there are many cases when maybe you use a comma, but I want to talk about avoiding run-on sentences here, okay? So to do that, I need to go down here to the bold, and anytime we discuss grammar, right, it's probably super boring. I'm sorry. But the first thing I'd like to talk about is the subject of a sentence. Most sentences have subjects, and most sentences have predicates or verbs. Hopefully this isn't the first time you're hearing this, but in a complete sentence, the subject does something. So something does something in every subject. And I have a couple in every sentence. And I have a couple basic sentences for you. Make it bigger here. I went to the store and I ate a pizza. So in that sentence right there, make it bigger here, that sentence right at the top, I am the subject. And then there are two predicates. Went to the store, ate a pizza. The subject did two things, which is fine. That's actually a perfect sentence. You do not need a comma anywhere. Now, in this sentence, there are two subjects. There's the I is doing something, and then Steve. I went to the store and Steve ate a pizza. Two subjects, two predicates. You need a comma there. Hope that makes sense. You could, if you have two subjects, you could just make it two different sentences right here. I went to the store, Steve ate a pizza. Or you could use a semicolon, which I never do. I don't think there's a single semicolon in Frankenbeans. But that little thing right there is a semicolon in the middle, the dot with the comma. That is a semicolon. And what semicolons do is they act like end marks, complete sentences, a period with a capital letter. But when you use a semicolon, you don't need that capital letter there. So that's a very basic run through on when to use commas, when not to, when connecting sentences. So there are 3 ways to connect ideas like complete sentences. You can make them 2 complete sentences. You can put a comma with what we call a conjunction. So comma with an and, comma with a but, comma with an or. Those will connect sentences. Also, you can have that semicolon. I'll come around. Hopefully your writing is getting there. Hopefully tomorrow will be for proofreading. And then, you could probably pass it in tomorrow. Share your Google Doc with me. Yeah, Google Doc, not Google Form. All right. Working class, Frank and Beans, out of here. Let's do it.